Hello, good morning. That's odd. My camera is frozen. Well, that's a new thing. Hold on, let me fix that. Okay, much better. Hello, good morning. Sitsu, how are you doing today? Let's see. We are working on the joins that's not, or I guess like a relationship that's not a real relationship, which is fun. KO2 fan, hello, how are you doing today? So where we left off yesterday was trying to combine tags into this sort of object that we get so we can then, well, print everything else out. And we load up all the tags. The problem. Okay, so we have post belonging to user results. Can I do another belonging? Is there, okay, so I see belonging to like this, but I was really hoping that there would be like another belonging to, because now this means that the tags are not option. Oh, when it doesn't have a tag, it won't display. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't make the tag optional. We can update that. I can do another. Well, when we add something in, I'll just add a tag into it. Okay, so belonging to all tags. Okay, so use associated function syntax instead. Oh, I can't do both. Oh, interesting. Chantilly, hello. How are you doing today? I hate how it doesn't tell me. Like it doesn't autocomplete this, but it's there. Obviously, because it was working, right? So it might not be working because of these errors. Screw it of you. Okay. Can you tell me? Yeah, I can't even do like a go to like show docs. I can't even show docs for this belonging to because of macros. Oh, that kind of sucks. Chantilly, you're doing pretty good. Excellent. That's good to hear. All right, we can go look at the documentation specifically, and now I wonder. I can also look at the guides. So when looking at belonging to, if we look at the associations again, and if I remember, maybe we should just look through this entire thing a little bit more carefully. Okay, traits related to relationships between multiple tables. Associations in Diesel are always child to parent. You can declare an association between two records with Diesel belongs to. Unlike other ORMs, Diesel has no concept of has many. Note that in addition to the Diesel belongs to annotation, we also need to derive associations. Diesel belongs to is given the name of the struct that represents the parent. Both the parent and child must implement identifiable. Okay. That was something I think we were previously missing, but now we understand. Identifiable means that it is associated with like a single row in the database. And I think making sure that that makes it into the course is really important. Where would I want to put this? I don't think that getting started with Diesel walkthrough had it. Connecting, CRUD operations, bulk inserts, probably in maybe the joins before migrations and seeds. I'm not exactly sure where. I'll just throw it in here, but I don't know if this is the right place. But this would be the identifiable. So identifiable. True. What is this? This is the identifier macro. I'm not even sure if I want this to be a root level thing or something like, hey, the macros for this. But okay. The struct given to Diesel belongs to must be in scope, so you will need to use some. So you'll need to use some module user if user is defined in another module. If the parent record is generic over lifetimes, they can be written as an anonymous lifetime. You will also need to wrap the type in quotes until unrestricted attribute tokens is stable. Groovy, hello. How are you doing today? Do you prefer Diesel or SQLX besides the course? Going through this, so like we did Diesel before, we've done ORM, and normally I do like ORMs because they usually give us like, they usually make things simpler at the user level at the expense of speed, running, and query time. But I'm finding that both CRM and Diesel, probably because of just Rust itself, I'm not sure the trade-off is worth it. So for me personally, I like SQLX a lot more. Because I mean, might as well keep the speed, and you get some of the safety with it running some static testing, static something on the queries itself. I guess static checking. By default, Diesel assumes that your foreign keys will follow the convention table name ID. If your foreign key has a different name, you can provide the foreign key argument to Diesel belongs to. For example, Diesel belongs to foo foreign key equals my key. Associated data is typically loaded in multiple queries, one query per table. This is usually more efficient than using a join, especially if 3 or more tables are involved. For most data sets, okay, so this is interesting. Associated data is typically loaded in multiple queries. So instead of a single join, like, because I always thought that a join was faster. It's usually more efficient than using a join, especially if 3 or more tables are involved. For most data sets, using a join to load in a single query transmits so much duplicate data that it costs more time than the extra round trip would have. Interesting. This is not something I always felt that a more complex join was better than multiple trips. But I don't know. This is one of those things where like citations required, please. Like a link to like maybe a study would be really nice, so I can go and look in it. It's like, oh, okay. Well, in that case, actually, like, so if you're doing that here, then the penalty of the ORM is reduced quite a bit because the ORM is doing multiple queries. You also feel this way. I think that writing more advanced queries is a lot easier in SQLX, and with the macros and typed queries, the security is still high enough. Yeah, I believe that too. And it's really easy to parameterize inside of SQL X. I kind of wish that they would make it a warning if you didn't parameterize it. I'm not sure if they can, though. That might be a limitation of just language server models, LRSs, something like that. You can load the children for one or more parents using belonging to. So one or more. How do I do the or more? So post belonging to user. I want the or more. Can this be an array of some kind? And this is why I want to see. It's a generic. Where can I throw it? Okay, implementation belonging to an array of parent. That's exactly how. Okay, so what is it? It's I completely, let's see. It's not S, is it M? Nope. Well, oh, I just forgot the command. There it is. M surround add array. Okay, so user results and then are all tags. Okay, so mismatch types, expected a reference. Oh, okay, so you can't be an array. Oh, I could just throw multiple things here. I don't need an array at all. Did I misread? No. Okay. Maybe it's a tuple? The trait-bound diesel demo model is not satisfied. Belonging to DSL is not implemented for post. Hold on. So for models, for post, diesel belongs to tag. Is this not how to do belongs to? Do I need to do multiple things? Can I do belongs to multiple times where you just say tag like that? Is not satisfied. The trait belonging to DSL user tag is not implemented. Whoa. Wait, for user? The trait diesel belonging to DSL user tag is not implemented. Is that a tuple? Yeah. I wonder if it's a tuple. Cernic, hello. How are you doing today? Okay, so belongs to. I haven't looked at the documentation for this yet, so we're still guessing, which is fine. Guessing is great, right? Yeah, so ooh. Be the first one like that. No, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, okay, fine. Let's continue through our reading here and let's see how it does multiple, if it can. If we can put multiple on, belonging to, we'd have to go into the models. It's off of the prefix, right? Or the prelude? And it's belongs to. Oh, I want trait method. Not belonging to. Belongs to? I was wishing that I was having better, like something on, like a documentation, an example of how to use it on a struct. Specifically, this means that the struct has fields which correspond to the primary key of parent. This implies that a foreign key relationship exists on tables. So it belongs to, and then just parent, like that. So I always thought that I could just run this twice. But actually, hold on. Here's all the implementation. So belongs to parent. How would this be implemented? How would I implement it with this? This is obviously multiple things. That's a tuple of multiple types. So clearly I can do this once. Okay, so it belongs to here. Okay, so what if I do Matt's round, tuple for you, and then another tuple like this, and then we say tag like that. You're not happy. Expected identifier, macro error, expected identifier, expected identifier, expected identifier. This looks like the XM into response impl. I mean, a lot of the impls sort of look like that, especially when they're macro based, because it's just like, oh, we're just going to auto expand out to all these different things, and sort of figuring out how it's used is, to me, I don't really have like a good trick yet for like, oh, here's how to like always like consistently understand how it's used from looking at those generic documentation. Yeah, that was the first thing that I had, is, so if we undo enough, this is what I had. 2 of these. So diesel belongs to, diesel belongs to. You are happy with that. But when I come here, now I'm attempting to use this as a belonging to you for twice. And maybe that's a problem. So if I start with like all tags, let's say, it is okay with that. So maybe that is the way to go there. And now if I try to say, hey, go all tags and user results, it's like, okay, you renew only one argument allowed. So belonging to is not here. If I try to do a vector, I don't think that'll. Okay, so then we're looking at that's a tuple. That's just 2. Is that actually an array? It's a primitive slice. Okay, so it is an array. So it's a tuple of arrays. You don't know why specifically macro documentation happens to be bad in Rustland. Even in otherwise well-documented crates, I almost always find macro docs lacking in showing the usage. I mean, I think it's. I wonder if we should probably like experiment with that. Let's add in experiment with documenting macros better in Rust. That's something we should look at. So a tuple of slices, yeah. So let's do tuple and then just a single So if I do user, well, these are already vex, right? So I don't need to do that. I could just use a slice of user results, all tags. Theoretically, I should be able to do this, but the trait-bound diesel demo models post belonging to user tag is not satisfied. Yeah. Chain belonging to. How can I chain that though? We looked at this. We can't chain belonging to off of belonging to. It won't let me do that. The trait is a generic pair with both. Okay, so that. Oh, you're right. They're both the same. Okay. Let's see if we can find something in here that has a multiple. These are just 2 tables. I'm going to need 3 tables. Tea Kettle Drone, hello. How are you doing today? Okay, so we have our belongs to. We're reading. So belonging to. Let's open up our associations API over here. Right, we were looking at this before. That's over here. This is what we're seeing with this. Maybe we'll just continue looking through this documentation and then go to the other one if we don't see anything in here. If you're coming from other ORMs, you'll notice that this design is quite different from most. There you would have an instance method on a parent or have the children stored somewhere on the posts. This design leads to many problems, including n+1 query bugs and runtime errors when accessing an association that isn't there. In Diesel, data and its associations are considered to be separate. If you want to pass around a user and all of its posts, that type is user vec post. So in this case, it's user vec post, okay? So one user, multiple posts, because it's a one to many. Next, let's look at how to load the children for more than one parent record. Belonging to can be used to load the data, but we'll also need to group it with its parents. For this, we use an additional method grouped by. Yeah, so this is now skipping past where we were with the belonging to. Tea Kettle, you're getting back into coding. You took a break. You were looking at Diesel a while back. Looks good. You like EDSLs? What's an EDSL? I'm more familiar with just calling it like an ORM. So like the DSL part is domain specific language, right? So what's the E for that? Typically, you will want to group up the children with their parents. In other ORMs, this is often called a has-many relationship. These will provide support for doing this grouping once the data has been loaded. Right. So the philosophy here is do a bunch of queries separately and then sort of stitch them together, which is interesting because that means we're not using any joins at all, unless we really have to. Oh, E is for embedded. It uses a host language, in this case, Rust. Okay. I didn't know that's what that was called. So what's the difference between an EDSL and an ORM? Or is there a big difference? Maybe it's like really small. Very common in Haskell land. Okay, well that would also explain why I haven't really heard of it. I'm not really in the Haskell land. Grouped by is called on a vec child with a parent. The return value will be a vec child indexed to match their parent. Or, to put it another way, the return data can be passed to zip and it will be combined with its parent. Okay, so it becomes indexed to match the parent. So, but, will, if I throw in tags, because I get one, Yeah, you remember that you would like get the first result of a query, then put that into the next query and execute it just once. I don't know what an ORM is. I had to look it up. Is it object relational mapping? If it is, they seem like just orthogonal concepts. So I'd call DSL and ORM EDSL. Both. Okay, yes. And if we take a look at because I got rid of it. So yeah, so Diesel is calling itself an ORM and a query builder. And so I'm guessing what you're calling an EDSL is what most people would call a query builder. Because you're building the query in the language that it's running in. Okay, that's cool. That's a new term that I hadn't learned before. So I can't do still want to do belonging to both. Grouped by can be called multiple times if you have multiple children or grandchildren. For example, this code will load some users, all of their posts, and all of the comments on those posts. Explicit type annotations have been added to make each line a bit more clear. Okay, so let's take a look. So they load all the users. They load all the posts belonging to those users. They load all the comments belonging to the posts. Because a comment is belonging to a post. Okay. The problem here is that I have the users are a child of the tag. Sorry, the post isn't a child of tag. Can we just do joins? Yes, there is a way to just do joins. You wouldn't say that EDSL is synonymous with Query Builder. There's EDSLs are basically just programming languages, but for a specific domain. I've used HTML, CSS, CAD, and music composition EDSL and Haskell. I haven't found a nice DB EDSL for Haskell yet, though, ironically. Oh, interesting. Okay, then I don't really understand like EDSL yet. I'll probably have to like sort of play around with it and like sort of explore that domain a little bit more, but in order to like really grok it. So the problem here yes, they have the post and then the comments. Yeah, okay, so you have a user and then you have a vec of the post with its comments. And I kind of want that. And that's it. It may seem odd to have load, group, and zip be explicit separate steps if you're coming from another ORM. However, the goal is to provide simple building blocks which can be used to construct the complex behavior applications need. Oh, okay. So, Etsutu, is this what you want? Guides, reading data 1. Okay, so I have the guide open here. Guides. Or relations. And then there's the reading data. Yeah, reading data. Okay, let's read through this. For ease of following this tutorial, we are going to put all the code into main.rs. We create a separate function for each part of the guide. See the linked code for the complete file content, which I think we looked through before. Page belonging to. So page. Here's our page. So page belonging to book, because it has belongs to book. Allows to query all child records related to one or more parent record. For the presented case, it will load all pages for the book with the title Momo. This function generates a query for loading these data. It does not execute the queries, that it is possible to add additional clauses to the query later on. Wait, it doesn't? Because it loads, and we've seen load before, it just gets it for us, right? The generated query is equivalent to select star from pages where book ID in with a list of given book IDs derived from the function input. So yeah, first it does this as a full query. So it gets all the book data. Wait, this is a different reading. Okay, hold on. Let me grab your actual comment then. Maybe I am incorrect. Oh, that is different. Interesting. How? Huh. If we now want to read, if we now want to load all books of a given author, we can combine joins and DSLs belonging to DSL to load these data. So they are doing a join. As described before, book author belonging to constructs a query to which we can chain other clauses. In this case, we join the books table to include the relevant books and select only the columns relevant for populating the book type. This results in loading all books for a given author. Okay. The same approach can be applied the other way around to load all authors for a given book. Okay, so authors, book author belonging to collaboration, so books table filter. As before, we can use this approach to load a list of authors and their associated books. This is a many-to-many join. I could make this a many-to-many join, but I was hoping to still do a one-to-many. As before, we load all associated books by joining the books table to the query produced by book author belonging to. It is important to load the data from books authors as well, as these data include the relevant mapping. The grouping is performed again with the grouped by method, similar to how this was done in the 1-to-n relations case. We now need to exclude the book author information in the final grouping step explicitly. So it's probably a filter that they do. Or that they basically say, hey, you have to now do a filter to remove the duplicates. There we do see the multiple belongs to. But I'm not necessarily seeing how I'm going to be able to add in my tags query to this. Grouped by is using the IDs, right? Yeah, because it figures out what that is. So basically, what we have is we have posts. So we have maybe for this we'll go to models. So we have posts, and a post must have a user and can have a tag. What I would like to do, if this is possible, to use like sort of the built-in tools that Diesel gives us. Otherwise, it sort of feels like Diesel isn't really helping us at all. And I really want like an ORM. Like if you're going to use like the power of an ORM, you want it to like use it to its max. So you want to automate all this stuff, right? Or at least as much as possible. So we can pull in the user, right? And then combine those together with the post. And we're doing that right now here, where I then I grab all the posts and I group them by the users. I zip them together, and now I have the users and their posts together. Great. But I would also like to do this with tags. And so we have an optional tag in here. And so can I get the tags by this? So I think based upon what we've seen, we loaded up all the tags. We just say, okay, give me the user results here. So don't worry about everything else. So give me all the posts based upon the users that belonging to users, and then grouped by user results. It said I could use grouped by multiple times. It wasn't in this document. Where was that? Group by can be called multiple times if you have multiple children or grandchildren. Okay. Grouped comments equals comments grouped by. Okay, so comments grouped by, and then posts and comments. Okay, so they didn't into iterator it. They just group by this. And then posts into iterator zip grouped comments. Okay. Andrea range. I can't understand that. And I wish that it had a I wish it had something to what is it called? Translate that built in. I think YouTube does, doesn't it? And translating that, no. That is not cool to come in and say that. Okay, so we want to do grouped by twice. And so it groups the comments then. Okay, so they group the comments first. So I want to you have no expert at French, but you have feeling that was what it would say. Yeah, well, yeah. Was that French? I didn't even take a look at what the translate thing said. I just looked at like the content. I was like, yeah, no, we don't want any of that in chat. Okay. So let's do posts. So posts and tags, for example. Well, I guess let's do posts and users. Posts and users first. So this equals Grouped comments, comments grouped by posts. So that kind of almost feels like we do grouped tags. Comments grouped by posts. This would be tags grouped by posts. So we start with all tags grouped by posts, so recent posts, like that. And of course, you can't tell me what you are, so I have to do that for you. You're a vec of a vec of tag. The method group by exists for struct tag, but its trait bounds were not satisfied. The following traits were not satisfied as reader item equals grouped by. Okay, so why can't? Because I can't do group by for the tags. I can only do it for the post. So I can only do based upon recent posts grouped by all tags. And then, so you become post like that. Can you tell me what you are? You can. Okay, so you're a vec post. That's not helpful to me at all. Because I don't have the tag in here. I zip it together with the tags. That's why. I'm trying to think, how can I do this without changing the database structure to work with how Diesel wants to do that? Because I'm not a big fan of saying, hey, database, you have to deal with this. Or we're just gonna have to use a join and we just say, hey, sorry, you have to, like, okay. I think that's what it is. We have to use a join. What's the structure we're trying to extract? And also, hello, Skimmis. So what I want is we have posts here, and the post has a user associated with it, and it has an optional tag associated with it. So what I would love to do is say, okay, give me a single data structure, so it could be, a tuple that has something like the user, all the posts that the users have, and then I need the tag for those posts as well. Am I just not thinking of this correctly, or is my brain breaking from like the multiple working with this? So I group by the tags. So the post itself has the tag, yes. So the post is a child of the tag in the database because we have a tag ID on the post. Because it wouldn't make sense to have that on the tag. We could do a many to many and have a post tag thing. That would potentially work too, but I think we'd run in. I mean, it might be easier. But okay. So let's say I group you by that. So now I want to zip together all the posts and the tags, right? So let's posts with tags equals so post with the comments now, posts into iter, zip the group contact. Okay, so do our recent posts into iterator it. So give it the iterator, and then we zip the grouped tags, and we have to map. So we're going to have a tuple of a post and a what? Why is this? Because those aren't tags. These are the posts grouped by the tags. Oh, okay. Hold on. Hold on. This doesn't work. So I need to do instead this. We do group. So this actually is the posts grouped by tags to give a really long. So then post group by tags into iterator zip all tags. Now I have a vec of posts and a tag. You don't say why it wouldn't have worked in the map we had before. In the map that we had before, this first variable or argument was a tag, and this other argument was a vec of tags. And so that doesn't work. Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't work. Which is unfortunate. Okay, so I think the answer is here. So the answer to the original question, two tables that should be related but are not in a database, can Diesel relate them in code? The answer here is sort of. So sort of. Only if we can do the group by. If we can do the group by, and they aren't together with another query, like another join. So I could get away with a magical join if the user wasn't associated, but not with the tags. That's the problem. XQC manager, hello. How are you doing today? What's the final data structure I'm trying to achieve? I want to, so like down here, what I would love to get is to have something like this. where I have a user, we have a vec of posts, and then the tag for that post. That's what I would like to get. And I don't think I can do that unless I actually do a true join with the tag, which we can do. I just need to update our database a bit. That's... Oh, I didn't realize that was a browser. I don't need you. How do I quit out of the browser? Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. There. Good enough. You have already loaded all the tags. There isn't really reason that you couldn't find the tag for the post. Right. I was just hoping that I could. So the hope here. Show post. Post. Yeah, I think it's show post. The hope here is to use something from Diesel to make that easier. Right? Like I want Diesel to be able to do that. And tag would be optional, right? Yes, and tag is optional. So I can definitely do this. But I can't do it in a way that is nice, if that makes sense. Because it would be really nice if it just sort of auto-magically worked. Because like whenever I pull out an ORM, that's what I want. I want the magic. I want to have to write the least amount of sort of binding code myself. Oh, what zip? Zip is when you're taking two vectors and you're sort of combining them together. Or I shouldn't say two vectors, two iterators. They have to be the same length. So in this case, if I'm zipping together like the tags and the recent posts, we're doing this one here. I'm taking all the recent posts. I'm then zipping together the users. So I have one vector of the posts and then one vector of the users. And we can see that coming in here where we have stop. We have our post from recent post. That's this vec a post. And then we have user. So I'm trying to zip that in here. So we have post coming in and user coming in like that. Yeah, zipping the tags doesn't make any sense unless I could get Diesel to make me a bunch of like a vector or an iterator of nones and sums. Because if it was like none for this post, then that's just a big vector of nones, which would be fine, right? With some of them that have tags. And I would be perfectly okay with that. And then I could zip them in and say, here's the appropriate tag for this post. I would actually really like that because it would make it a lot easier. But I don't think it's going to do that for us. And so here we just do user and post like that. And then you become user and a vec of post. So for each user, we have a vec post. You are recent posts. We lost you where? Here. But I think the more appropriate thing to do would be, oh, I don't have my chat up, which is fine. Okay, so I think what I want to do here is, let's do Docker starter Postgres. Let's also let's down everything. So diesel migrations, is it revert? It's revert. Oh, and I keep on forgetting you have to do this. I'm just reverting everything. There we go. Back to the start. So I create tags like that. Okay, so here we have tags. Create the post, add user post, add tags to post. So I purposefully for this one didn't create the relationship, but we're gonna have to here. So references, tags, ID. And this can be nullable. So now when we do a diesel migration run, so zip creates a 2D array by matching index. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Two things sort of together. It's a tuple. It's not an array. It creates a tuple. Well, is that true? It creates an iterator of tuples with the first thing in the zero column, the zero index, and then that one. So yes, it's sort of hard to describe it without like some kind of infographic to go with it. Okay, so I've added that in there. We now have our references, so that should work, which means in show posts, for I get the recent posts, we limit there, select that. I need to look how to do the joins because I've forgotten how to do joins. Okay, come on. Let me just do join. Okay, so table. So I wonder if it matters where this goes. And does it always have to, do we have to choose which type of join it is? Like left join, inner join. URL join. Don't need that. Okay, so here's like left join. Let's go find. So under DSL, okay, inner join on, inner join query source. I always forget. I always have to like recalculate. Okay, so I can't just do join. There's no join. Oh wait, there's left join like that. 13 matches. Do you actually need the relationship in the database? If I'm going to do a join, I do. If I'm going to do a true join, I believe that I actually have to have that. It should actually tell me what this is going to create, right? This actually doesn't tell me where that creates, but okay, so belonging to and then inner join. Okay, so inner join, selection of like both things. I think I could do a right. Do I want to do a right join? So Diesel can't do joins without references constraint on a table. I don't believe it can. But let's find out. Let's get this working with a join, and then I'll do it all again, and then remove that. Actually, can I remove that? Yeah, because it's actually creating this as a query builder with a join, so it makes sense. The ORM cannot do something can't be done through a SQL query. It can do relationships without a relationship in the database, but it has to use this grouped by thing. So there's two different types of relationships we're talking about here. One in which we can do a join, which is the actual SQL join itself. That's the traditional like inner join, left join, right join. But then we have the ORM relationship. That's the one where we say that the post belongs to tag. And then that we can do the magic join that doesn't need the relationship between parent and child in the database itself. So for example, I could remove the relationship between user to post. And then that would still work inside of here because it's doing two different queries, one for all the users and one for all of the posts, and then sort of joining together at runtime. Yeah, that is interesting. Now, Diesel itself says that this is faster than if I were to sort of put it together. This is not what the joinable macro is before. Have we looked at the joinable macro? I don't think so. Let's find the joinable macro. Allow two tables to be referenced in a join query without providing an explicit on clause. The generated on clause will always join to the primary key of the parent table. This macro removes the need to call .on explicitly. You will still need to invoke allow tables to appear in same query for these two tables to be able to use the resulting query unless you are using Diesel print schema, which will generate it for you. If you're using Diesel print schema, an invocation of this macro will be generated for every foreign key in your database unless, okay. Joinable post to users on the user ID. This doesn't say it doesn't say that the relationship needs to be required in a database, but doesn't say it doesn't need to either. So we do need to test that still. Okay. We do need to test that. Okay. Let's continue playing around with this. So we have, where would you put this joinable? So use schema. Is this in? Would this go into models? I wouldn't. Hold on. Oh, Diesel joinable. Okay, so it's actually calling this itself. Okay, so Diesel called this for me already because there is a relationship between them. Interesting. Okay, so this already exists here. So I don't need to do it again. But when we repeat this and we remove the relationship in the database, that line will probably go away and we'll need to deal with that ourselves. But that's another day. It's another day, another test. Okay, so I have recent posts belonging to, so before filter, I want to inner join Yeah, it's actually going to create an actual join. Yeah, it's easiest to do it if you add it into the database. Yeah. But look at this. It's going to actually create an inner join here. Okay, inner join and then post. So I want to inner join. I can't inner join all tags, so I'll just be tags. So use that maybe. So inner join tags, filter, select. Ooh, I don't know if this is going to select the tag name and have it be in here. There's no errors though. So it didn't mind my inner join here. Okay, so displaying the number of posts. And then we have post by users, and we do that. And then for user posts, let's ignore this tag, post by users. Okay, so title. So post the title that and then I want the tag. I want something like that. Post dot. Yeah, so I just have tag ID. And I want can I do another select to say like another thing that I want? How does select work? Cool. Is this a tuple? So I have the post, and then I want tags. If I do as select, I want tag name. Let's try that. Is not satisfied. The trait, queryable PG is implemented for diesel demo models post. Okay, so let's see. Hold on. Missed a bunch. Use a tuple and a select. Okay, so we got that. Don't you want a left join since the tag ID can be null? Oh, that's probably right. I probably do want a left join. And keep the left stuff the most often and then keep the right stuff only when it exists. Use a tuple in the select. So we got that. Left join selection on the relationships docs have a good example. And then CernKIF. If you want to create a model based on the get 2.2.x, I have the link as we discussed. Wait, is it for this thing? Or for get? Let's try left join. Okay, left join tags. Select. Count equals never required for diesel demo schema tags ID to implement. Oh, okay. Hold on. So I wonder if I want to do something like tags, use schema tags. How do I get? Okay, I don't want tags. I want like post. I want all the posts. So schema posts. All right, thank you. Okay, let's go take a look at that example. The left join section on a relationships document. Okay, so the left join. Left join. Join two tables using a SQL left outer join. Behave similar to inner join, but will produce a left join instead. See inner join for usage examples. Columns in a right-hand table will become nullable, which means you must call nullable on the corresponding fields in the select clause. Okay, so we have join select, user's name. Okay, this is what we want. And then users. All right. First of all, I think I don't want that. So where is this? This is from users, but I think it's from this, like the post DSL. Or I want to do something like self schema. What if I do something like use self schema? We just do that so I get the schema, left join tags, select. And okay, so I want, do I even need the, I don't think I need the ID of the post at all. So I want the post title. So I want schema post title that has to be there. Schema post. Oh, I need to remember what we have here. Okay, so we have the title. Oh, the body. We need the body. Oh, wait. No, that's fine. Okay, so title, post, body, that has to be there. We're zipping in the user stuff, so we're not grabbing that. And then the tag, which is a as nullable, right? So then I want schema tags name as nullable. Didn't it say it was something like as nullable? Oh, you must call just nullable, not. There it is, nullable. Okay, so do that. And the connection is yelling at us because the treat bound is not satisfied for post. Oh, okay. All right, so I need to interesting that you're doing it like this. Users table left join. Oh, so you're not creating a struct for this ahead of time, right? Oh, the section on the guide. Okay, so hold on. The guide has a better join. As you said, it was the inner join one. The left join one. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Book without pages. A book left join pages. Book a select option page as select. Oh. Well, that's different. Okay, so we left join the tags, and then I select book as select. Okay, so it's a tuple with option. Okay, so let's try this again. So we have post as select. Is this actually just the normal option? Option tag as select. Okay, you're still upset though. The trait bound. Okay, so post select by option. PG is not satisfied. The trait queryable. Okay, so I think what we need to do is update our model for post. So instead of just tag ID, I think we also have to have a pub tag, which is an option tag. I think cannot find type tag and module. Yeah, so how do I rectify this? You have to have vec post type assertion on recent posts, right? Now, this is really interesting. They're all doing this on books table, which we're not doing otherwise. So they're not actually grabbing a post like this. They're doing something like post table and then the belonging to is rough. No, you don't need it. You have it, and that's creating a problem. The last example shows belonging to. Okay. So, book author, belonging to this, inner join, select, but it's only getting the book. It's not getting the other thing now. Okay, this one has, okay, so book author belonging to authors, inner join books, select, book author as select, book as select. Okay, but that just works. So book author here, we have to go find that struct. Yeah, okay, so this doesn't have that. Remove the type annotation. Wait, where's my... Which type annotation? Oh, the vec post. Oh. Well, okay, if I remove the type annotation, that doesn't care about that. Still the same problem. I really... And use Turbofish on load. Oh, okay, so what do we want to get? We're getting a vec. Well, what are we getting? What type do I give it? Vec post option tag. I don't think it... okay, select by option tag PG. Okay, so we think that is that. What am I trying to select? I'm trying to add in the tag into the post as we're connecting it. So load, and this is going to be a vec of a tuple post option tag. Doesn't like that. Oh, just post option tag? Okay, without the vec. Oh, okay. So it does like that. Ooh, okay. So I definitely need to make sure that we add. Nope, nope, not that. Stop. What is this called? We're going into the spills, these rest course. This experiment is still unknown. So joins with diesel. So we have manual joins, magical joins, and then we want joining with belongs to. It's like both of them together. Okay, so we load use that. Recent posts now gives me this. So we have post option tag. Okay, so now I'm associating the post with the user, so this becomes a post option tag like that. Okay. User posts in here like that. Okay, so for posts and user posts, but okay, we have the tag that's an option tag. And then okay, so you're gonna have to be if let some tag equals tag. Then print out the name like that. Okay, I think this will work. Okay. Let's get rid of some of these warnings too. So we don't need to load all the tags anymore. You don't need to be mutable anymore. Everything's good to go there. We do need to create the tags. We need to create the other things. So I need to wrap. Let's see. I think. Oh, I was full screen. I think we need to do an insert. So insert into tags, just the name, values, and this will be, what is it like? It's single quotes, right? We'll do cat. And let's do another one, Rust. Okay. I have to associate them afterwards also because I don't think we ever added in the ability to associate those. So we'll have to deal with that in like the real course. But okay, whatever. Not right. Let's do down. Okay, so here, let's say cargo run binary write post. What would you like the title to be? So the first post obviously goes to Zilby, my favorite cat. Zilby is my favorite cat. Everyone loves him He's the best. I swear. He's also my boss. Okay, so we got that. Insert or update on the table. Post violates foreign key constraint. Post user ID. Oh. Oops. Because also I'm cheating. So we have to insert into blog users name values. Zerker. Okay, so there's one. Just do that again. What do you like the title to be? My favorite cat. Okay, so save the draft with my favorite cat with ID 2, and let's do another one. So do this again. This second title would be Diesel is a cool ORM. Diesel is pretty cool. It slaps, as the kids say. Okay. So that goes in there. That gets added in. Let's associate them. So if I do table, so tags, table posts. Okay, so here it is. I want to associate 2 and 3 with tag ID. So 2 goes with 2 goes with tag 1, 3 goes with tag 2. So I don't want to do an insert. Is it alter? No, it's update. Update posts. If that is what they say, then they are wrong. Not about diesel, just wrong. Oh, you're talking about slaps? Yeah, slaps is it a millennial term, or is it a Gen Z or Gen Alpha or whatever? It's one of those newer terms for basically it's knee slapping good, which is originally from like the early 1900s. So it's just been recycled. Okay, so update posts. I think, what is it? Set tag ID to be equal to 1, where ID is equal to 2. Select ID name tag ID from post. Oh, it's not name, it's title. Okay, so from my favorite cat is that one, and then 3 goes to 2. So do the same thing. So set this to be 2, where ID equals 3. Okay, so that updates. Now we have things associated correctly in the database. So if I want to do a manual join here, we can do a select, give me the title and the name from posts, join tags on tags.id is equal to tag ID. And now we can see my favorite cat has the tag cat, and Diesel is a cool ORM is the tag Rust. Okay, perfect. I guess we could do another one and have it untagged just to make sure that this works. So let's write another post. What would you like the title to be? I don't know. We'll just do a simple one. Hello world is our favorite simple test. Okay, so now I have 3 things, but the third one doesn't have a tag. All right, so now I want to show everything, and we should see the tags for those 2. So let's full screen this. We're gonna do cargo run, find, go posts. Oh, I need to do, it's a left join, right? So let's do, that way we can say I want post, so name from post, let's do posted ID 2, 3, and 4. Okay, 2, 3, and 4. So we need to cargo run find publish post 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we published all those posts, and now I want to show all the posts. Okay, displaying 3 posts. My favorite cat, written by Brooke Zerker, with the tag cat. The other one has the tag Rust. And then finally, we have no tag at all. Excellent. Okay. That's fun. So that's how to do joins and belongs to, which is fun. So did we want to test if we really need a relationship in a database to do this exact same thing? My guess is that we do. Oh, and the other thing is, can't I get like a printable thing? Because there is a way for me to see what the query is going to be, right? So I select that. Is it before I do a load? These are all snippets. Most ORMs or query builders have a way for me to print out what the query to the database, like what actually is going to be sent to the database is. Let's see. I don't know if it's actually that. Maybe in the API docs we can find that. Debug query takes a query fragment expression as an argument and returns a type that implements format display to show the query. That's what we want. Debug query. So before we do this load, we can do a debug query. So I think what that means is I can do, okay, recent posts. We'll do that here, and then I'll do another let recent posts equals to that. But in between here, I want to do debug recent posts equals recent posts debug query. I wonder if that gives ownership. I hope it doesn't. And then let's print line no method debug. Okay, for struct select statement. Okay. Oh, it's a standalone function, not a method. Oh, I should probably actually go into it and take a look at it. Oh, yeah. Okay. You're right. Debug query, and then let's pass in recent posts. Okay. And then we have a recent post like that. Recent posts. That. Okay, so then your type annotations needed. You're a string. Mismatch types. Expected struct string. Found struct debug query. Oh, okay. So you're not a string. Oh, I see what you did. You did this. DB. Oh, so I might be able to get away with just that. And I just have to tell you, huh? Okay, you come from. Oh, I don't have a use statement for you. Where does DB come from? Oh, PG? It's on our connection. Blood, hello. How are you doing today? Do I know Python? I've used Python before. Yeah. It's been a while since I've used it though. It's a placeholder for the database type, presumably. Okay, so wasn't there like PG or something like that? It wouldn't be the connection. We use that somewhere else. Like oh, diesel PG PG. That's what it is. Okay, diesel PG PG. Okay. All right, no errors. Let's try this again. So show posts. Here it is. Recent posts query. Select posts.id, post.title, post.body, post.published, post.user.id, post tag ID, post or tags ID. It doesn't do an as. How does it know? Huh. This makes me really curious. if I take this and I throw this in here, perhaps you meant to reference the columns post.published. Oh, I think it new lined. Could I help you out? You made a list, and the list you made 3 dictionaries. You want to add up all the values in the dictionaries, but it says your data type is set. When you can see it's definitely a float. Unfortunately, I don't know if I can help you there. Oh yeah, that is a new line. Oh, that's probably what it is. Yeah, so I don't know if I can help you there. It's been too long since I've used that, just to remember off the top of my head. Programming is so hard. Think of it this way. Computers always do exactly what we tell them to do, but that's not always what we want them to do. And so if they're not doing what we want them to do, or they're telling us that we're not doing what we want them to do, then it's because we're just not using the right words, right? Like we're not using the right words for them to understand what it is that we want. So there's a way for you to figure out what the types really are, because generally speaking, if the compiler is telling you like that something is wrong, generally speaking, the compiler is trying to help you by saying this is exactly what the problem is. You keep relearning the syntax and keep forgetting it. The best way to sort of internalize and learn the syntax is repetition. Create a drill for yourself. So it might be something like creating like, just doing this one little problem. Do it like 5 times in a row. So like build it up, burn it down, build it up, burn it down, build it up, burn it down. Do that 5 times in a row, and that will get into your memory over time. And then also don't blame yourself. Don't be negative on it. What are beginning projects you would recommend? That's sort of like a hard thing to go into because it's going to be really personal to everybody. For like a beginning project with like, it almost doesn't matter. Like Rust, Python, JavaScript, it doesn't really matter in the end. Simple cruddy type things like basically, create, read, update. So anything with data. So blog, Twitter clone, Reddit clone, things like that. Those are good. Calculator apps, those are good too. Yeah. All right. So so I ran this again and it got nothing. Oh, look at that. Why did I need another semicolon? Oh, that's weird. Yeah, I'm still inside the query here. This query is really weird to me. Left header join tags on post at tag ID equals tags ID, because that makes sense. They did a sub. Oh, they did a sub query here. So I did a sub query here from. I get that. Okay, so select this from, and then they created another table through this query. So post left outer join tags on post tag ID equals that, and then where another subquery. Oh, the binds is in a comment. Why do they? You're right. Comments are dash dash in SQL. Why is that a comment? But you're right. That is a problem. Oh, the binds is for this. I see. Binds 1 true and 5. Okay, so this becomes 5, 1 true and 5, right? So true and 1. Any all requires an array on right hand side. Oh, it's an array. Okay, hold on. Oh, I see. An array. I didn't even notice that. So any one becomes an array. Does that have to be a stringified array? Yeah, it's $1 in there, so that becomes an array. An array of 1 just right here. Isn't that what that is? And then you're letting me know that it doesn't like that array opening. So do I have to stringify it? Like put that in a string? That feels weird. Missing equal after array dimensions. The array creation syntax might be different. Okay. Oh, wait. Isn't it like an array? Like, isn't there an actual array? It's either going to be parentheses or like that. So let's try you. There you go. Okay. That gives us this. I am actually kind of shocked that they didn't put any as's in here. So this ID and that ID are the same names. But I'm guessing it comes in as a tuple essentially, or an array or something, or CSV or whatever. I'm not sure how they're reading it back out of it. Is this all because you wondered why there was no as? Yes. So how does it know which ID? Like, it must be looking through it. Huh. I'm curious how this works. Tekka2, hello. How are you doing today? The other thing we were looking on is whether or not it's actually doing a true join behind the scenes as opposed to two different queries. And the answer is yes, it is doing a true join, which means we can't not have, like if you're doing an inner join or a left join, you cannot not. You have to have a relationship in the database itself. Positional matching instead of name matching, presumably. Yeah, it must be that. You're going to reread the Rust book again. This time you'll master Rust language no matter what. All right, we believe in you. Good luck. Also, if you need any help, feel free to ask. Okay, so we have successfully done a relates to and a left join. So I would say that these are answered. So sort of, we can only do the group by, so let's rewrite this. So we can do group by with results from two separate queries if and only if, I guess, like, okay, we can do group by from two separate queries, must be related in database if we use a join method. That's basically what we need. All right. So then next up, debugging. We need to add this in here. So getting started with the diesel walkthrough, perhaps throwing into getting started, probably with this is going to be diesel CRUD operations. Let's do somewhere in here. So I don't know exactly where we're going to do a printing the statements, printing the database, the SQL, printing the SQL for debugging, something like that. Let's see. Daily Code, hello. How are you doing today? I did. Database relation is not required. I mean, I think it's required, but I mean, we can try it. So here, the best way to fully test that is to down everything. So we'll do a cargo, no, diesel. Let's revert all the things. Revert them all. And then over here, everything where we have a references. Okay, so alter table references you. We'll do that. Okay, so we got you. I think that's it. There's no other there. Okay. Let's see. And then you asked Daily. Okay, so you asked, is Diesel a good solution for a medium or a big database? It doesn't really matter, right? Because Diesel can handle medium, large, and small databases. If you have like super, super, super complicated join statements, I don't know. If you have like many joins together coming in, it might be easier to use something like SQLX. I am not seeing any tools that Diesel provides that seems to make like more complex queries easier with it. It lets you do it in Rust, which gives you some type safety things, but I don't know. I'm not convinced that Diesel with like a really complex or really large database is like better. I would probably need to like actually try to build something with like really like a more complex thing, which we'll probably do for the project maybe. And we can do that before we make the course to make sure I really truly understand everything. Danny Endas, hello. How are you doing today? By the way, is making production website with RustU or Leptos a good idea? I think it's going to depend upon who your client is. If it's just for yourself, this is perfectly fine. Use whatever technology you want. If this is a project you're selling to somebody else and they're going to have to support it forever, then I would probably say no, it's not a good idea. Because remember that you're not only providing like the website, you also have to worry about like who is going to support it. If you don't want to be called forevermore to support this, and you don't have a contract to be paid for that support, I would not do that at all, because they're not going to be able to just hire anybody off the street to do that update. They're going to have to go to you again. So just keep that in mind, that like who the support is going to come from. If it's your own, you're fine. You're going to yell at yourself. Oh, that's true. Website or web app. That's also a really good distinction. A website being like a really simple, just like a bunch of HTML, CSS, and maybe a tiny bit of JavaScript. Those, yeah, you don't really need any like front end frameworks at all these days. Usually use a static site generator nowadays, which I don't know if there's any good ones for Rust yet. There's tons of them for JavaScript though. And I would use any one of those. Apps, though, yeah, you and Leptos are perfectly great at apps. But again, it comes down to that support thing, which is a business decision, as you, as like your own business, has to make that decision. Zola. Okay. Is Zola a Rust-based one? Did you mention that before? I don't remember. And also, Endos. Okay. I will try to remember to call you Endos. All right. So I haven't figured. By the way, I haven't fixed chat for YouTube yet, so it still only shows Twitch chat in there. Oh, Endos, you're South Korean. Welcome from South Korea. All right. So you're all done. I saved you all. So let's go ahead and run these migrations. That's fine. So now if we open up our schema and we reload, yeah, so notice that the joinable doesn't exist anymore. So my guess is now if I attempt to run this, we have to do a diesel, no, do a cargo. Can't write the post first. We have to insert. So insert into DB users. What? Blog users. Okay. Insert into blog users name Okay, and then insert into tags. Okay, we'll just do a simple one like that. Oh, your NDOS, your major programming language is Haskell. Nice. I haven't used Haskell myself. Okay, so right post. What would the title like to be? My cat. Bilby is the best cat. Okay, save the draft. We want to cargo run bin published post 1. Let's associate. So update. It's probably 1, right? So update post set tag ID is equal to 1 where all of them. Just set all of them. It's fine. Okay, so that's good to go. So now let's show posts. So cargo run line show posts error. Okay, so runtime error. No. Compile time error. Okay, compile time error. The trait bound join to is not satisfied. Okay, so I can't call join to because that's not an error, which means I need to do an. Okay, now call an inside the join. So we're thinking that in show posts. Are you going to give me the error here? You are. Okay. So you're saying, yeah, the trait bound table is not. Okay, so join to is not there. So you're thinking now call an inside the you mean an inner join as opposed to a left join? Oh, tags on. Oh, right. On. Tags on, self on. Okay. What do I put into here? It's the DSL on, right? It's not helpful. See the trait documentation. Okay, I need to find join on DSL. On. Okay. User's ID equal. Okay, so that's going to be tags. It's like, oh, it's like schema tags ID equal to schema post tag ID. Oh, because you're a option. Other one. Wait, what do you mean other one? This is the top. No, that's it? Okay. So yeah, user ID is equal to that and post cycle. Okay, so I don't need the and, but maybe it's not an equal. Is there like an option equal? Asynchronous chat. You said that before I found it. Okay. That makes sense. It's like I know that at least on Twitch we have a fairly fast chain Noble. Oh, Noble somewhere. Yeah. You're right. Tag ID nullable. So it's not there. There. Okay, maybe not. Equal knowable there, maybe? Maybe I go the other way around. So two open. So let's try schema posts tag ID nullable is equal to schema tags ID. No, doesn't like that. I can do nullable. I don't think it likes that. Move the nullable back. Nullable here. Okay, so post tag ID is equal. Oh, and then I could do nullable. Ooh, okay. That might work. Left join tags on schema posts. So the tag ID is equal to the tag ID, which is nullable. Okay. No warnings, no errors. And if we recall this, it does work. And just to prove, there is no relationship between user ID and tag ID. All right. What is happening here? Yeah, this is a good example of what Diesel is doing for us. So our recent post query, so this recent post, it is still, wait. Can you do a join? I thought you couldn't do a join for in the actual database if it doesn't have the relationship. Am I just not understanding SQL? Is this a new thing I'm learning? So if I select, let's say, I can join anything? Oh man, okay. So apparently I'm learning something about SQL now. Or maybe it's Postgres that I'm learning about. Because I could swear that I've tried to join tables that don't have relationships on them, and that it hasn't worked. It's yelled at me that it didn't work. Not allowing join without relationships would be so limiting. Okay, so well, because if that's true, then Diesels doesn't actually give us anything. that like we still couldn't do with SQLX. So let's select, let's skip the title. We'll do title, skip the body. I don't care about published. I want, let's get user, well, okay, I'll use variables here. So we'll do, okay, select p dot title, p dot, oh, but it's from a subquery, which I actually don't know if I could use aliases with that. It saves you from having to write the equal. Okay, so let's try like a simple select here then. So select so let's select star from posts. So if we start that, here's that. All right. Zilby is the best cat. Let's also join tags on, because there is this tags here, right? So tags.id is equal to posts.tag ID. Yeah, okay, so that just works. For some reason, I had in my mind that you couldn't do the join without the relationship. I don't know how I got this far into my career without knowing that. Join on post ID. Oh, because I could, just to show that I can. Oh my gosh. Tags ID equals post.post ID. Posted ID. Oh, because it does allow that. Fun. Okay, so what we're getting here, okay, so what I need to figure out is what am I getting from Diesel here that I don't get from SQLX? Left join tags on this is equal to, I guess we just get the type safety to be extremely explicit to make sure we don't accidentally join on anything else. So if we aren't joining, if we are joining, I guess even if we aren't joining with a relationship, the relationship just doesn't matter at that point. Okay, so if we are joining, you forgot everything about SQLX, so you can't say how it differs. I guess the only thing to really remember about SQLX is it's just plain SQL, but it does check safety at compile time. So it actually runs the query behind the scenes to make sure that it will run when you run it. So at compile time, it checks to make sure everything is good to go. And I don't know, I wonder if it would yell at us, because even though technically it would work in here, I wonder if it would yell at you because the relationship doesn't exist. I don't remember that. Yeah, the comparison would be with other ORMs. But I forgot that one too. And I don't think I ever did a test with CORM for how that works. So, yeah. I think the big thing about ORMs, especially in Rust, is that you use them to be extremely explicit with the type system. That's pretty much it. We want to be extremely explicit here to say, hey, we want to join on the correct IDs. And that's it. So most of the database stuff you did was with Tokyo Postgres and a custom query. Like, did you make the query builder yourself? Okay, nice. All right, so this is really good to know. We have answered this. Does not need to be related in database if we use a .join method, but relations aren't needed in database. Relations are lies. I don't know if that's actually a good idea to say, but it's like, you know, the pie is a lie, the cake is a lie, the relations are a lie too. Okay, so I don't think I need the magical joins here. So when we do joins with diesel, we do this is going to be sort of like not we joining with belong. Oh yeah, so we have joining with belongs to, and we have like more like dot inner left right joins, something like that, like actually joins. References are more to do with constraints in the database instead of the code base. Oh, I guess it is a type system thing, isn't it? Okay, so it's there to make sure that the type between one. Oh, it's more than that. It's more than that. It's also if you delete something, will it auto cascade to the other things? Because you could say on delete, cascade either the delete or on delete update or on delete on update cascade or whatever, to say like, hey, I want you to also delete the thing that it's related to. Yes, that the invalid data will be rejected by the database itself. Okay, that does make more sense of why we should use joins when we can, but it's not needed. All right, good to know. I guess I conflated all those things together in my mind. At the core, it just means you can't reference an invalid tag there. But yes, you can handle all those other things. Yeah, that makes sense. So, okay, so we did our demo, which got us through this. Okay, so SNP coded for Rust development. We already have that article. Set up a Postgres database. Do we have that as an article? I want to say we do, right? Like in my SQLX Rust. Maybe it's in the Docker course. I don't have one. Okay, so we need to write that. So stand up a Postgres database with Docker. Getting started with Diesel walkthrough. Okay, so that's just me going through the walkthrough and doing that. Connecting Diesel to Postgres. Actually, I don't know if I need to do that one. I think then we just say, okay, connect Diesel to Postgres. I think we need to do migrations and seeds. Oh, we need to do migrations right away. So connecting Diesel to Postgres, migrations with Diesel. What did I mean by embedding migrations? I wrote this here as if I would know what I meant by embedding migrations. But I don't remember what this word means anymore. So now I'm going to remove it. Okay, so we have migrations at Diesel. Diesel CRUD operations. I feel like we need to do like our first. Oh, right. You can embed them. Yes, that's what it was. You're right. Migrating. Okay. Embedding the migrations into the binary. That's what it meant. Okay. A little bit more specific to remind myself what that means. Okay, printing a SQL for debugging, that needs to go somewhere. And I don't okay, so probably we have a section here where it's like we have Diesel CRUD operations. What I probably want to do is separate these out, and we're just going to do like inserting. Okay, so yeah, so we'll have to do like, okay, so CRUD operations. This will have to be probably multiple. Like this is all one. This is all a single thing, right? And I think you to show this off, I'll go like this. Okay, so create insert. Then I'll take you and throw you into here. So print the sequels for debugging. So I throw that after we have something to do. Okay, so after we insert into it, then we can print what that does and take a look at that. And then read all, update, delete. Okay, so that gives us all of those. So then before this, the identifiable macro, we need the model. So creating, I guess, yeah. So creating table model, modeling the table, creating model struct. So model struct, which is going to have to include so create the model struct, and then also includes the identify, like what is the identifiable. So let's just include what the identifiable macro is. We have CRUD operations. Bulk inserts with Diesel. Phytoplankton, hello. How are you doing today? Why do Rust devs like Vim so much? I don't know. Is it really like just Rust devs doing that, or is it a lot of the Rust devs on Twitch happen to be using Vim or Vim like tool sets? Because do most of the non-Rust devs use just VS Code on Twitch? I don't know. I haven't watched them too much. CF Griffin uses Vim, right? Asitsu, you're using Zed. Yeah, I don't know. I'm using Helix for this, so it's not technically Vim, but it's close enough because it's a terminal editor. So I guess you can argue for that. But I don't know. I think what it is that what is it called when it's not a fallacy, it's like a statistics thing where we have a small group of like Rust devs on Twitch and we just happen to be using Vim or Helix or NeoVim or something like that. Therefore, it looks like all Rust devs use that. Use Helix and you found it better because it's easier to learn. Oh, that's really nice. Yeah. Well, I'm using Helix here. I used Vim a lot before, and ironically, it's actually harder to use Helix after using Vim because there's more to learn from that. But I agree with you. I think it's easier to learn than Vim. And I think therefore it's easier to get people into CLI editors with something like Helix. Okay, bulk inserts with Diesel, joins with Diesel, async await with async await, concurrency with Diesel, Diesel and MySQL considerations, returning when inserting. Okay, and then I wonder if I want to do this as like a multiple thing. Diesel bookstore assessment. No, this will be, we'll introduce the assessment through this. And then we'll have maybe a like how I do it, which will probably also be a really long one where we can just have Diesel bookstore assessment solution. And so I wonder, we might do this one first next time. Okay, so tests. So maybe this isn't test, this is to do. So next up is write the assessment. And then complete the assessment while taking notes of everything that I do. So we'll start with essentially these two things first. Tough question. What's the best thing about programming for you? For me, the best part about programming is understanding how computers work and getting computers to do what I want them to do. And then also knowing that because I can do that with computers, I can also do this with other things too. I can basically change robots. I can change physical things in the real world and in the digital world. Like I have much more control over my, essentially like my life and my surroundings because I can do that with programming. To me, that's like the best part about programming. I don't know if that makes sense. It's basically just a form of control of my world. All right. It is after 12. It's 12:10. I didn't necessarily mean to just quit that, but it's okay. Whatever. Let's go ahead and push this up to get commit. So we updated tasks, I guess. Go ahead and push this. Oh, I don't have a remote yet. Okay, I haven't pushed this at all anywhere. That's fine. I'll just leave it right now. It's going to be a private repository, so you won't be able to see it anyways, so sorry about that. But next time is going to be Thursday. We're going to be continuing. We're going to start working on the assessment for this, which is going to be the bookstore app. It's going to include a many-to-many join, and it's basically going to be very similar to what we have there, which no relation. I did a bookstore assessment with students back when I was a teacher for like in the classroom for programming. And I just found that the bookstore one is a pretty good sort of like low level introductory. It hits all of the different parts. We have to do CRUD too, so you have to do deletes. Generally speaking, I think it's a good assessment for any database type code thing. That's a cool answer. Thank you for that. I'm glad that sounds good. All right, I checked. I don't see anybody doing Rust that I know coding, so I'm gonna go ahead and skip a Twitch raid today. So as I mentioned, I'll be back Thursday morning at around 9:30 a.m. We'll go about until this time again, and we'll start working on the assessment, and it should be fun. So with that, I hope that you all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all next time. Bye.